Master Quest Cape owners are going to globetrot around the world with today's update in order to maintain their Cape ownership. Outside of that, it's a standard patch week, so let's jump into it and check it out. Starting off, there was a mobile lobby change. Mobile players have been requesting a social lobby for a long time, and today they have announced that it has arrived. The social lobby lets you access your friends, clan chat, and more, just like you can on desktop. Another important thing to note is they're conducting some planned maintenance to the local game servers on January 17th. The worlds you see here on screen will be offline at 11 game time, with work planned for approximately 5 hours. So if this is one of your favorite worlds, make sure you note that 11 game time, January 17th, you won't be able to log in for presumably about 5 hours. No other worlds will be offline, and no other disruptions are expected. Quickly, if you enjoyed the video so far, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you'd like to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you. With that out of the way, let's now look at those patch notes and see what's been changed with today's updates. Starting off with death costs. A Phoenix necklace will no longer reset the cooldown and effect of the Ring of Death. Ring of Death's return to life passive no longer prevents players from looting bosses' corpses and chests after the fight. Buyers on the Grand Exchange no longer see how much the seller has received after tax. Hardcore Iron players will once again retain their protected items on death. A few changes have been made to the Master Quest Cape. The teleports from the Master Quest Cape can now be accessed on the regular Quest Cape as well. They updated the requirements for the following existing achievements. Scabigail, they added the requirement to show the completed Scabara's research to Abigail. All Rise, they've added the requirement to collect the gavel and title rewards from the courthouse clerk after finishing all court cases. And keeping up the Carnelians, they've added the 8th experience lamp, which you can claim from Philip after getting at least 400 quest points. They've also added the following existing achievements to the requirements of the Master Quest Cape, so you can pause on screen. There's a bunch that have been added to the Master Quest Cape, and as well as new achievements requiring the Master Quest Cape, which is why I said in the beginning of the video, many Master Quest Cape owners are going to be globetrotting around trying to get these achievements done. Lastly, let's look at some general changes. Next, Angel of Death chest drop rate has been improved from 5,000 down to 1,024 per chest. Chests will now drop in order and any gaps unlocked before being randomized thereafter. The Bow of the Last Guardian's auto attack damage is now correctly calculated. All weapons of the same level should have equal damage values, meaning the DPM is the same regardless of style. The Bow of the Last Guardians was set up incorrectly, so the bow itself was doing all of the damage of a 95 weapon, and then the damage of the arrows was being added on top for even more. This bug was limited to auto attacks, so those who have been using abilities should notice minimal difference overall. Being teleported to Legio Quartus no longer results in being unable to move for a few seconds. Globetrotter Jacket now takes players to the correct location when using the compass clue leading to the eastern part of Mortmire Swamp. All graphic settings have now had a tooltip explaining what the options do. Once a walk animation is applied, the yellow button is labeled Deactivate. The augmented Baneite weapons text change from Destroy to Disassemble. Combined Catalyst fragments can now be used to cure diseased herbs in Herblore habitat. Compost can now be applied to any growing patch. Fixed a typo in the Death Lotus story in player-owned ports. Fixed an issue that prevented players from receiving XP when completing the buyer's and seller's quest. Fletching animation is no longer used for haircutting activity when a tool override is active. Gates been added in the Graveyard of Shadows. Leaving the Life Altar no longer clears stat effects. Aurora variants of power armors can now be upgraded. Players can enter the Cooking Guild with any of the following capes: Trim Inverted Cooking Cape, Inverted Cooking Cape, Inverted Master Cooking Cape, and the Cooking Cape. You're no longer prevented from burning logs on a portable brazier as long as you have the required fire making level. You can no longer open the Treasure Hunter chests while the promotion information screen is displayed. Portable skilling locations can no longer be placed on top of Cruxical Knights. Players won't receive nothing as a Slayer task anymore. You can no longer teleport out of cutscenes in Daughter of Chaos or Civil War 3 during a Fade to Black section. You can now feed Aurora dyed items to the baby troll. Your character no longer attempts to jump twice when trying to pass a leaf trap into Ranwin. Players won't get teleported now when entering the Barbarian Assault building with a quiver. Portable Snowfall Override no longer appears as an object in Diago's retrieval interface. Ram skulls now drop properly from rams during the Ragged Bone Man quest. The Sasha pet can now be dismissed through the pet interface. The butler will no longer appear inside the throne in the player owned house after taking things to the bank or sawmill. The untradeable halo of returning can now be keepsaked. Flame gloves can now be stored in your keepsake inventory with a copy being placed into your regular inventory. Upon removing the item from keepsake, the copy gets destroyed. All of Speak amulets can now be stored in your keepsake inventory. Again, a copy is created that gets destroyed when the original item is taken out of your keepsake storage. Water skins can now be noted with magic notepaper. They updated text when re-returning a dungeon as a group after leaving. Resourceful aura messaging has been updated. Updated the Treasure Hunter promo timer to be more consistent with the timer on the promo info interface and updated the interface buttons. Oddment store and terms of condition buttons can be interacted with when the out of keys screen is displayed. Added in boss tactics for Zamorak, Lord of Chaos. And finally, the Scabarite notes no longer clip the ground when attempting to close the note. That is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below. Head on over there and check them out. If you missed last week's update, the link to covering that with the death costs and the GE tariffs will be on screen now, so you can go check out the video. Looking forward to seeing you there. If not, I'll see you next time. Aloha.